I've been out here hustling all my life. Every day we get into it. Really out here in these streets. That's day and night. Like there's nothing to it. When I was going through it, dog, I never got your call. I never asked for nothing, no. But now I want it all. Promise I'ma do it. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another bonus episode of the Montana Method podcast. As you can see, make some major upgrades from the last episode. Finally got our couch put together. Got some lights. This place is starting to look like a real operation. Starting to look real. I'm excited with each little improvement we make. Things look better and better, and I feel the difference from one recording to the next. It's indescribable the way things are coming together, the way things are happening. I couldn't make it up if I tried. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have ever had something happen in your life where you wanted to do something and then things just started coming together piece by piece, and obviously you played a part in it, right? Because you're the one going out and putting in the work. But there's a certain factor there, right? Because how many people do you guys know go out and do the work and seemingly are at least trying to do the right things, and the right things don't end up happening? They don't get the right results, right? So that factor of not just taking the action, because work ethic, you gotta work hard. That's such a cliche. There's factors outside of your control that have to take part. They are a factor, and they do play a part in your story and what happens in your life, right? Intangibles. These, I don't know if you want to call it, the divine intervention or whatever it is, but life, things happen differently when you're on the right path and things start coming together. It's hard to describe. It's almost like you're in this giant pool of water and you're just floating, and then little by little you get, a little piece of driftwood here, this little sheet starts floating towards you, and then all of a sudden some other little piece floats to you, and then before you know it, after a little bit, you've been floating in the water, but all these pieces of a boat come to you, and then you can build a boat, and then you hop in the boat, and then the wind is just right for you to sail, and you start sailing, and then what do you know? You get to land without a map, without anything. The land has fresh water, and it has fruits, and it has food. That's kind of what it feels like at times. Like, yeah, I could have just kept swinging, kept swimming in that water, and eventually I would have gotten somewhere. I would have gotten to something, and something would have happened. And you can also see it like, of all the spots in the ocean that I had to be in to get a piece of wood and find some abandoned sheet and find this other thing and all these circumstances for me to build a boat, and then for the wind to hit just right for me to be able to sail, and then for me to sail in a random direction to finally find an island. All these things had to happen for you to end up at a destination. So what is it that separates the people who end up getting what they want in life and the people who don't? Because there's, again, two people could take the same action. They could do the same things and get totally different results based on outside factors. You know what I mean? You can listen to these gurus and these people who are doing really well in life. At the end of the day, though, luck, some sort of luck did have to play in there, right? So the question becomes, is that luck controllable? Can you put yourself in a position to where that luck can hit you? Is it just a matter of time before you get lucky? Like, just you have to keep doing something consistently, and then eventually luck will hit you? All these things, I think, are correct. There's no wrong answer, because life, at the end of the day, I've learned, is one big gray area. I used to see life really black and white, and then I learned over time that life isn't so black and white. There's a gray area. certain things don't apply in certain situations. It's not a black and white thing. It's not a law, right? There's things that apply in most situations, and then in some situations they don't. So can you place yourself in the position to get lucky, to have that luck hit you? I am a testament of, if I've done something long enough and consistently enough, I get lucky, right? So, at the end of the day, you just got to go out there and do it, because if you don't do it, nothing's going to happen. However, if you do it, you have a possibility. So I remember you guys on the other podcast, I've talked about my old mentor, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn used to say, he had a video where he talked about sowing and reaping, right? And he said, if you sow, you might not reap. That's a total possibility. You might plant your crop, you might do everything right, and then locusts come and eat your crop. That's totally possible. What else is possible? Or no, not even possible. What else is certain? If you don't sow, you don't reap. Period. If you don't put yourself out there, if you don't take the action and put in the work, nothing's going to happen. You have to put yourself out there. You have to take the action. You have to sow in order to reap. And at the end of the day, if locusts do come and eat your crop, if your business does face, you started your business and then a recession happens, you started to lose weight and then you break your leg while you were running, or what's another situation? You're out there, you find the love of your life, you get married, you have kids, you love this woman, she cheats on you, you end up getting divorced. These crazy things happen, right? These unforeseen black swan events happen. The only choice you have is to keep going. Because again, if you sow, you might reap. And if you don't sow, you don't reap. It's plain and simple. It's very simple. That's what I love about life. We tend to try to overcomplicate stuff. And at the end of the day, it's not really all that complicated. Life is very simple. Super simple, to where anybody, a child can understand this, right? You can explain this to a kindergartner. Jim Rohn used to say, I start explaining capitalism to kindergartners. I show them, have two bikes, one to ride and one to rent. It's not complicated to understand. We as humans complicate things. We are the ones that complicate life. Life is not complicated. Humans are the ones that complicate it. And it's like that in so many different situations. So many different situations, I'm telling you. Keep it simple, man. Sow, you might reap. If you don't sow, you're not going to reap. Simple as that. So I'm going to sow until the cow comes home. I'm going to keep putting myself in the position to where I'm putting in the work, I'm putting in the effort, and eventually something has to come my way. It's the law of averages at the end of the day. The law of averages is very simple. You do something 10 times, it'll happen on the 9th or 10th time. Just keep trying. Baseball players, they get paid millions of dollars for hitting the ball 3 out of 10 times. That means they strike out 7 out of 10 times. That means they fail 7 out of 10 times. And just because they hit the ball 3 out of 10 times, they get paid millions of dollars a year. So I'm going to keep swinging until I hit the ball, and I'm going to work on my swing. Work on your swing, you get more bats, you get paid more money, so on and so forth. It's the same thing. Sow until you reap, and once you reap, break down the process so that way your sowing gets better, you reap more often. Plain and simple. Life is simple, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it simple. Don't complicate things. Stick to the basics. You got this. Keep sowing. You'll reap eventually. Alrighty, guys. So that's all I got for you today. We're doing these mini episodes until the studio is up and running and ready to go. Thank you, guys, again for tuning in to the show. Like, subscribe to the channel, comment below. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. Let me know for season 4 who you want me to collaborate with, some interesting people I might want to have on the podcast that I might not know about. As always, push it to the limit. The world is yours. And if you are not chasing a dream, life is meaningless, guys. Until the next one, say goodnight to the bad guy.
I've been out here hustling all my life. Every day we get into it. Really out here in these streets. That's day and night. Like there's nothing to it. When I was going through it, dog, I never got your call. I never asked for nothing, no. But now I want it all. Promise I'ma do it. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from rags.